Avi Meyer's Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. You can find all our shows from the last 10 years on the web at www.ntnm.org. Community policing. Sonny, in his spare time, is chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. Caps24.org to see when all the meetings are, as well as important police notices. We've got a mayoral election coming up. We've got an election period coming up in Evanston. And one of the people who, there was a primary, one of the two survivors in that primary is my next guest, and that is Mark Tendam. Mark, congratulations on making your way through the primary.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. So what are the issues? What are you going to do for the city of Evanston?
The city of Evanston, I think the biggest issue is finding access to and developing good paying jobs. We have a lot of folks who work really hard at a job that doesn't earn them a livable wage. And we have a lot of employers in Evanston that are always publishing vacancies, job offerings, but I don't think we're training folks for those jobs in the best manner as we could. We have two hospitals; they're always looking for good people to fill really good jobs, and I think there's a disconnect there. I think if we know what types of jobs we have, we should always be looking at employers and businesses to bring new jobs in, but we want them to be quality jobs. We need to have a better relationship, or at least stronger relationship, with the Oakland Community College and other programs, and really start to look at getting people into the trades as well. We have a lot of construction in Evanston, and the Northwestern University recently announced about 25 apprenticeship jobs for Evanston residents. A lot of kids out of high school.
Nice.
And that's a great segue into being able to join a union, to have really productive work, a business that could be your own, really. I mean, the carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and those are good jobs and good careers.
I actually had my office in Evanston at two different locations, and I was at Evanston at Rabbi Klein's banquet Sunday night, my favorite banquet of the year. And I was looking, and I was right along the tracks too. I was basically at 1335. Well, that first 1335 Dodge, then I was at 1234 Sherman.
Okay.
So when I started looking at what used to be and what is now, it's just amazing how things have gone boom.
It has really come together for us. We did adopt the TIF programs in downtown, especially. Those are the oldest TIFs we have. But so this all started about 20-some years ago, and it has certainly, some of these TIFs have expired and others are about to expire. But it was a real boost to Evanston, and I think we saw, even when I became alderman in 2009. We were just hit with a bad recession then, but I think we saw Evanston really climb out of that recession really quickly compared to other cities, because we opened our doors to a lot of entertainment venues. We're brewing liquor, we're brewing beer, we're brewing hard cider. We really have become a much different city, and we're really we've become popular.
Different isn't the word for it.
We've become a popular destination for many things, but for entertainment in particular.
No, it is popular. I tell you, even when I was there before all this, I think First Evanston Liquors had just opened when I moved my business in there.
They were the first.
Yeah. And by the way, I still think I owe them $3 on a parking ticket.
Oh. Pre-digital era.
Evanston has always been a different city. Actually, my first exposure, I worked for Gene McCarthy in '72, not in '68. I'm not quite that old. And his main headquarters for the suburbs in the 9th Congressional District was in Fountain Square. Okay. And he had the entire second floor of that B building. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that was pretty. Oh, we had some. That was great. We had some really incredibly famous people who come through there. It was really nice. So, but anyway, we're talking about your mayoral campaign. So the election is
April 4th. Early voting starts the 20th of March at the Civic Center in Evanston.
Okay. And of course, I always urge people to vote early and often, or at least once is a really good thing. And You know, what are some of the other? I mean, what does the mayor do?
The official powers of the Evanston mayor are fairly limited. That was a change that was made back in early 90s. In fact, the decision was to really put more emphasis on the city manager, which had been a position, but I think there was always a struggle, a power struggle there. So the mayor, so the council and city manager truly are the legislative body. The mayor can do certain things like break ties on council, veto a budget, which needs then an override. By state law, still the liquor commissioner.
Okay.
So a few little things like that. But by and large, it's really setting an agenda, building consensus, and reaching out to the community to get community support for the ideas that the mayor and people think that we should be pursuing. We saw those in this past 8 years with the affordable housing money that we got from the government. We created 110 units of affordable housing.
Nice.
And we also, with Skokie, we have a federally qualified health center, which is another initiative that, so we had taken our health services from the as a city department, and needed something to replace that with. And so we have a beautiful facility over on Dempster Street that we share, like I said, with the city of Skokie. But I mean, I wish my doctor's offices looked that nice. And, they have wonderful full range of services, including some dental and even some mental wellness programs that I think is much needed. We need to expand on that. But so the mayor did really cheerlead both of those, and got the funding and really made them come to happen.
No, and that's definitely an important thing, no question about it. So, how's the campaign going at this point?
It's going well. It was interesting sort of having, been one of the two survivors of the primary. Now then there's a rapid shift with the realignment, since there were three other candidates. So that's kind of been interesting to see certainly we went to work the next morning early to sort of gather the support that may have been behind one of the other three candidates. So that was, there's been no let up in the intensity for me, at least. And I think our fundraising is way up, and volunteers and people wanting to get yard signs and support behind me is just really sort of taking off rapidly.
No, that's terrific. That's something I forgot to do when I was up there, was look for the signs.
Quite a few. That's in Evanston. I don't know if it's just Evanston, but certainly.
No, Evanston is more than almost anybody.
Really?
When in past years, it's like, well, I don't have a car, so I'm not usually over there. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when I deliver, Jewish Chicago, Evanston, it's like every other. The percentage of houses with signs is more than any other place I've ever seen, ever. And Bernie Stone always taught me that signs don't vote, but in Evanston, it's a pretty good indication that they do.
It is, and there's a strategy behind it. If it's a big lot, put one at opposite ends. If it's a corner, wow, you've hit, you've really gotten lucky. You can get them coming and going. So there's a certain enthusiasm for it too. And it's not the most green initiative, but it certainly is something we do.
No, definitely. So if people want to contact your campaign,
marktendam.net, marktendam.net.
.net, and you have a presence on Facebook and social media?
We do. It's //Tendam for Mayor. It's Mark Tendam for Mayor, actually.
Okay. Mark Tendam.
It's Mark Tendam for Mayor. Yes.
You guys can do a search and you can find them that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to wish you a lot of luck in the election.
Thank you.
And good luck. And after you win, or if you win, or whatever you want to say, we would love to have you back on the show as the
certainly
sitting mayor. I've never been successful in getting a sitting mayor on yet.
This time you will. If I'm in, you're in.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.